today we're going to be reading a brand new book, and our book is called Corduroy. It's about a little bear, and we're going to figure out what happens in the story. So friends, the author of this book is Don Freeman. This is the person that wrote the book. I'm noticing that the illustrator, the person that drew the pictures, included Corduroy looking for a little button. I wonder if that could be part of the story. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all of the other animals and dolls for somebody to come along and take him home. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "No, my dear," her mother sighed. "I spent too much money already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He just lost a button on one of his straps." Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked. Corduroy looks really sad there. "I didn't know I'd lost a button," he said to himself. "Tonight I'll go see if I can find it." Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully from his shelf and began searching everywhere on the floor for his lost button. He seems to really want to find that lost button. Suddenly he felt the floor moving under him. Quite by accident, he had stepped onto an escalator. Up he went. Could this be a mountain? He wondered. "I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain." He stepped off the escalator as it reached the next floor, and there before his eyes was the most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. "This must be a palace," Corduroy gasped. "I've always wanted to live in a palace." He wandered around, admiring the furniture. "This must be a bed," he said. "I've always wanted to sleep in a bed." And up he crawled onto the thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. "Why, here's my button," he cried, and he tried to pick it up, but like all the other buttons on the mattress, it was tied down tight. He yanked and pulled with both paws until pop! Off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled. Bang! Into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going his rounds on the floor above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. "Now who in the world did that?" he exclaimed. "Somebody must be hiding around here." He flashed his light under the sofas and the beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. "Hello," he said. "How did you get upstairs?" There's his ears sticking under. The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and dolls. Corduroy was just waking up when the first customers came into the store that morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen the day before. "I'm Lisa," she said, "and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I had in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home." She seems really excited about it. "Shall I put him in a box for you?" the saleslady asked. "Oh, no, thank you. Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up the flights of stairs into her family's apartment and into her very own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers alongside a little girl's bed, and a little bed just the right size for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I like the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and she gave him a big hug. The end. Wow, friends, this was such a sweet book. It seemed that Corduroy found his home, and he found his forever home with Lisa. And it seemed like Lisa didn't care that he was missing a button. She still wanted to bring him home and be a friend. So what I want to know from you is, why did the little girl want to bring Corduroy home? Why did the little girl want to bring Corduroy home? I can't wait to hear what you say. See you next time.